Good morning.
Everybody just raise your hand if you have a question. We'll go ahead and get started. Let's start with the left side here on Colin. Keep your hands up for me if you would. Thank you.
Hey Ryan, could you, I guess, talk about like how you saw Austin Mack and Keelan Russell play, especially Keelan making his first action for you guys? Like, was it what you expected? Things like that.
Yeah, I expected both of them to play well. They've done a lot of those same things in practice and, leading up to that moment. So I think, you want to just see how they perform and stadium full of people and they can make easy decisions. I thought they both did a good job, took care of the ball, didn't put it in jeopardy, made some good decisions. Obviously both had success getting the ball in the end zone, so they did well.
Go to the back middle of the room to Alex.
How would you evaluate how Michael Carroll looked, and do you kind of see that as a competition at right tackle?
100% I see it as a competition. All these guys are competing for spots, so I thought Michael did a great job. I think there's some things he certainly needs to clean up, but the thing I like about Michael is, he does compete, and what you saw on the field, in the game that's how Mike practices too. So he's a super competitive, physical kid that I thought did a really nice job for his first time.
Jump to the left side to Katie over there.
With Jame out these first two games, just what have you seen from those running backs behind him? Kind of what have they proven with their opportunities?
I thought obviously Kev is a guy that's made the most out of all his touches. I think he led the team again in missed tackles forced, and that's one of the things I think Kevin brings to the table is his ability to make people miss and open space, and real reliable out of the backfield, catching the football, and so I think he's kind of established that. I thought Rich had a couple of really physical runs, had a couple of really nice pass pickups where he was ultra physical, and then Daniel saw a couple plays in between the tackles where he was able to drag some people. So I thought all of their best characteristics kind of came out in different ways.
Let's go to the right side of the mat here.
Where did you see the most improvement from Ty game 1 to game 2?
Decision making. I thought he was extremely decisive. He was very dialed on his reads. He didn't pass on open players. I thought he played great. I thought he was really into the game plan all week, and I was really hopeful that he was going to play very well.
We got two questions on the front left. Let's start with Chase, and Emily Grace will go to you after that.
Wisconsin's defense has been outstanding these first two games. I think they're giving up about 30 yards a game on the ground, and I think they've only given up one touchdown. What do you see from them schematically and also just what they do well in general?
Well, defensive head coach, there's going to be a little extra emphasis on stopping the run and those type of things, and Coach Fickle does a great job of getting those guys to play hard. So no surprise that matches on film how the guys run the football, finish plays, extremely physical at the point of attack, and for me, I saw a group of guys that know what they're doing. Their scheme is clear to them, and they know where to be on the field. So was impressed with just their discipline to be in the right spots.
Okay, Emily Grace.
Hey Coach, you mentioned Ty's improvement, but for the offense as a whole, how do you feel like you've seen improvement, and what areas you still want to see growth in?
Well, I thought their biggest step forward was honestly the week of practice they had. I thought that was, I know it's probably not the sexiest thing to say, but they did. They had a good week of practice, and I thought that it really showed. I literally showed them on Sunday that got all the information from our strength staff, from physical output, they wear those catapults, and I just showed them, they practice harder. It showed, and I thought that was something that was kind of cool to be able to show them, back it up with a little bit of science, but then, you watch the game tape, and they played inspired, so I hope we keep that up.
Let's go to the far right to Charlie.
Yeah, hey Coach, with playing Austin for a series in the second quarter, I believe that's something you guys did at Fresno with Jake Hayner. Just what did that do for Jake then, and what are you maybe hoping it does for Ty now?
Well, piss Jake off, but that's Jake. But it helped, I thought at the time for him, and Ben Ward, who was a really good quarterback. I thought it kind of got him locked into, remembering all the things they needed to do and be clean on his preparation and prove that he's the guy, all those kind of things. And a little bit different scenario then, but that certainly was a story that I shared with Ty, and I thought in the right way Ty handled it the right way, and just, you know, attacked it and just kind of dug in and, you know, focused more on himself, which is the toughest part about playing quarterback, is not letting outside influences, whether it's another quarterback, somebody from outside the program, affect the way you prepare. And I thought Ty was elite at that last week. He just dove into the preparation and did a great job.
All the way in the back of the room, Jonathan.
Yeah, Ty said after the game he was coached really hard last week and wants to continue to be coached hard. What does that kind of tell you about him?
That's not surprising. I mean, that's something that Ty certainly, you know, shared with me as well. And, you know, that was something I told him after the first game was, you know, I told you, everybody on the team's got to look inward and, you know, what we can own. And I thought maybe I wasn't, you know, hard enough on Ty. And, you know, I didn't harden him enough for the moment of the first week. And I told him I wouldn't, you know, make that mistake again.
All right, let's finish up with Joe on the left side of the middle, coming over to you, Joe.
Coach Jaden Roberts getting his first action of the season. What did you see out of him, and how's he coming along post-concussion protocol and getting back into the flow of things?
Yeah, Jaden played well. I thought he had about 4 blocks that I thought, you know, were good finisher blocks that you expect out of a guy like J-Rob. I think, you know, he's still working himself into game shape. He was out for a decent amount of time, so getting back to where he can play a full football game, he's still, you know, kind of getting through all that, but he did a great job.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.